Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, with.
Michael Anthony Fitness.
And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I have been busting a hump in here in my workshop, and it has taxed my brain, and that's not a hard thing to do, though. It's really not hard.
We gotta get it ready for Wednesday.
Well, here's what we found out. Okay, so yesterday I had a big problem, which is, in a way, it's a great problem, to be quite honest, because I'm rebuilding my workshop. I've had so many different requests for people to be able to do things that I'm not capable of doing. You guys know I do the shot glass racks, I do the footballs, and the hat racks and everything else. I'm doing tables, but the problem with the tables is I have to make them so they're all together and so on. And a lot of it's hand crafted, and I don't want to ever lose that hand craftsmanship, but I've got to also keep up with everything that's going on in the world. And that's where I finally got a CNC machine. And the thing is at first I was looking at my workshop, which is a 2-car garage. It's like 22 by 20. It's not real big. And to have the amount of equipment in here that I have, it's tight. And, you know, I've kind of built my shop when we first moved here, and it hasn't really changed much since then. I've got, you know, a floor model wood lathe that I hardly use. I got a radar saw, a drill press. I've got a router table. I got a shaper. I've got a 3-horsepower planer that's in here. I've got a table saw. I got a joiner. I got a dual drum sander. I got an edge sander, and I got a bandsaw. And tons of hand saws to make just about anything. So I was looking and thinking, maybe for now until, you know, eventually I get a bigger shop, I'll just get one of the small bench top ones. And I was looking at that and looking and the amount of money it was going to cost for that. I said, you know, if I spend that money, I'm going to turn around and a year or two later buy a bigger one. So it's like, I don't want to waste that money because I've been down that road before. So then I started looking at getting a better machine, and I was going to get the Inventables X-Carve, which is a good machine, but it's still limited because it's only like, you know, 24 by 24. And it was like a lot of money. Well, 4 times the money, you could get a professional one, which was bigger, and they have it so you could actually use a sheet of plywood on it. So I said, okay, I think I can make my workshop work for that. And I had built what I'm sitting on right here for it. I had moved the table saw, and I was like, yeah, this is going to work. Except the problems of the pandemic. Shortages in parts. And the parts that they use, because somebody said, oh, well, you can just go ahead and, you know, order the parts from overseas. It's no, you've lost it. You don't understand. It's not parts that I need. It's parts they need to build the unit. I'm not trying to build the unit. If they can't get the parts to sell what they are trying to sell, that's a problem. And this is not just them having a problem. I know a company that makes tents. They can't get the nylon for the zippers to be able to make. How are you going to do the zippers without the nylon? So they can't put out the tents because they don't have the parts. And so they called me yesterday, you know, because I was excited because we're supposed to be getting stuff delivered today. And I thought that was the whole unit. So I thought today was going to be the day. They said, no, that's the accessory stuff that comes with it. That comes in a different freight order. It's like, oh. They said, we have a problem with the parts. We can't get the parts till hopefully the end of February and so on. And I'm kind of like, that's 6 weeks from now. And knowing how long it took them to get the parts for my dishwasher, I'm like, dude, you may not see those parts until summertime. He said, well, here's what we can do. He said, we can give you the full-size unit for the price of the other one. You know, he said, we have those and they're ready to ship. And it's like, okay. So I went from needing 31 inches of space to 54 inches of space. And when I first started doing it, I was like, okay. I then said yes. And now I got to make this shit work. And I'm still sitting here because he's saying, basically, he said, you need about a 6 foot by 6 foot. He said, we recommend a 6 foot by 6 foot table because actually this is too short. I got to put a little extension on there for the CPU unit that goes with it. So, but that'll be over there by the, I'm okay.
The brains of it.
So,
The brains.
I ended up taking that and thinking that this was my solution. And you can see I'm sitting here. Here's a good thing. The X-Carve weighs about 300 pounds. I'm about 270, so we're good enough to hold it. Some of the suggestions, I appreciate all the suggestions that people made for what to do. Somebody said, well, you can just suspend it from the ceiling and drop it down. Yes, but it's 300 pounds. It's 300 pounds, and it needs to be set up so it's perfectly level. Great solution, but by the time you end up having the height of the cutter, it would end up being about this low. Doesn't really help. Doesn't help because I'm going to literally hit my head on it. And the other thing is you don't want to have that movement and stuff on there. You can mess up the stuff. You need to have it set up on a stable platform where it's not going to move. It's set when it's moving and cutting. People said just enlarge your garage. That'd be great. Except I've got a hill over on the other side, and our electrical panel is and our meter is right there. It's right over there. So we're talking about having to go ahead and get a permit, move all the electrical. That's just not going to work.
Where we live is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's definitely not. So I worked last night, and this is what I did. I ended up rearranging the equipment. You'll remember this used to be right here. This big ass wood lathe here that's almost as old as me. I was 8 years old when they made this thing. Another reason why I want to keep it, because as long as that's still running, I'm thinking I can still run. But I moved that over here and I put the edge sander right there. You'll remember the edge sander used to be over here. Used to be actually right beside the table saw. Okay, so that is now gone. But here's what we got. After extending and moving this, we still have a nice walkway to go around this. The whole unit will sit on top of here. This hose will actually attach to it. It'll be able to take that 4x8 sheet of plywood and be able to do its thing and cut out cabinets. So I'm actually better off. But wait, there's more. So I've gone through and I've built myself drawers into the cabinet so that way I can keep all the stuff that I need to in there. And I've got a 24-inch deep cabinet here so I keep extra parts. And since I had to make this other part, this is where it actually works out really, really good. So let's show you guys down here. Here's what I did. Actually, let's take you guys off of here. Okay, check this out. Let's get down here on the floor. Look what we did. So we built this cabinet to go here with it, but it's open so I can actually keep lumber in here. These are scrap pieces to actually use to make for cutting boards and things. But if I have, 7-foot long pieces of molding or pieces of wood, lumber shorts, they can all go in here. So it's literally maximizing the space. Also, too, because I don't have a lot of space in the workshop, and right now these are the hoses, this is actually my thickness planer. And it's actually taking up that space that's underneath the table saw, which is great. Because I can still get in here, adjust the height and stuff on it. It's not easy, but I can still plane 8-foot long boards up to 15 inches wide. And so if I get Michael on the other end, he takes them out, hands them back over, and we just get an assembly line going. So that works out really, really good for me. The other thing that's going to be nice is once we get the X-Carve, it's actually going to raise up and it's going to be the same level as the table saw on the outfeed table. So what we'll be able to do is bring in a sheet of plywood, set it down in here, put it on the X-Carve. If I'm building, like, let's say kitchen cabinets, I'll have that all programmed. It'll just, I can just go ahead and say cut, and I can go drink me some coffee. I can shoot a video and it's going to do the work. So this actually is going to work out pretty good. And we ended up clearing out some more stuff here. So we actually have more space to go on the side door right through here. This is that dresser I have. I'm still working on all my extra tools that I take on the job site. I'm going to work on getting that set up so it's situated a little bit better so that way we actually have more space. But if you walk around here, don't trip on the hose. If you walk around here, there's actually a lot of floor space right here. And this is where I can actually assemble pieces of cabinets. There's still the joiners right here too. So you can do all of your milling of the wood right here, cut it, edge it, plane it, and all that. We got to clean this shit up. Yeah, I got to clean this shit up. This is,
tomorrow,
or the next day or the day after. We got till Wednesday. but I have the radial arm saw where I can cut up to this way 7 feet and another 12 feet that way. So I can bring in 16-foot long boards, cut that. We got the drill press, we've got that. So once all this stuff is cleaned up, there's still plenty of room to kind of walk around, especially back in here. So I think I fixed my problem. And it's really coming on. What do you think, Mike? And see, this is going to be kind of woodworking you're going to like, isn't it?
Yeah, you just set it and forget it.
Yeah, right. And then you just got to glue it up. That's what it's going to be.
Once you learn the program, you just set it and forget it.
I really bought it so that way I could pass on woodworking to him. That's why I got it. It's easier for him to learn how to use the computer to make the stuff than it is to teach him. Yeah, you don't have to worry about him cutting off his fingers either. You don't have to worry about him cutting off the fingers because it's like, okay, push start and get away.
Out the wood
You don't have to worry about losing any limbs. So it's going to work out. And this is how this father is passing it down to his son. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, live stream 9 o'clock Eastern. We've got, of course, the 49ers, Joey Bosa, talking trash about the Cowboys. But then again, everybody talks trash about the Cowboys. So what else is new?
What about Philly 500?
Oh, screw Philly. Okay, Philly. I think Mike's saying he's not. You said you're not doing any bets, right?
Well, with Philly, I might, but Cop Pizzle.
He was the one that sent his shit to Pizzle.
Yeah, but at least Philly 500 man's up for it, wherever the bets are.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. Remember one week he had to wear Giants gear?
Yeah, that's true. He did that. That's true. All right, we'll think about it. We'll make a decision by the live stream night. All right, I'll see you guys. And don't forget, Sunday, all white. So I'll be wearing my white jersey, or maybe I'll wear my white Jobu with the nice logo polo shirt. Maybe I'll do that. All right, we'll figure it out. Peace.